Hi, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching and with Health Academy Sports Coach 2022. I want to talk to you a little bit about zonal marking and setting up a session for zonal defending. A lot of these ideas that I've got came from this book we have here on the website called The Complete Guide to Zonal Defending by Stefano Santona. I'm going to put that into the comment section so you can check that out and it's available for download on the website. Going back to here. So I got a lot of these ideas from the book, but I started with one of my own that I like to start sessions with if we're going to be doing something with zonal defending, because I think it's a great way to kind of shrink the game down and give them a small idea of what playing within a zone means. And I like to personally play this kind of a hybrid zonal marking system when we're defending set pieces. And I find that it gives kids, with zones, sometimes they can get lost with what exactly that means. I think it sets it up in a way that you're defending your zone, but you're not worried about that second runner because you have free-flowing guys that are not in the zone. So you have man-marking guys, but in addition, you have your zonal marking. So the way I laid it out is I initially laid out with cones, play a couple balls in from the corner flag here, and your job is to defend the ball that's in this area. So I generally have them start back in their area so they can attack forward to it, okay? So they're attacking towards the ball, and then they obviously then want to adjust with defenders, with attacking players. So I start with the air, play the ball. You're just working on getting, attacking within your zone, and the ball lands over here, and you're in the wrong zone. You were in the wrong spot. Then what we do is we take away the cones. All right, we move those off to the side, and we have you defend again, still against air, but staying within your zone. And if we see, people getting clogged up and people run into the wrong zones, we're then addressing it further. But hopefully at that point they've kind of locked it down because they have the initial cones. Then what we do is we bring in defenders and mark them live and realize, and they can kind of see how that, their adjustments to their run up to the ball and how they defend the ball would differ a little bit than against air, but still the idea that they're working within a zone, going to attack the ball, and it takes away some of the marking within it because you're just worried about the ball. The ball's in your zone, you get that ball out, you clear that ball. And the only person that's going to trump you within your zone is the goalkeeper. So this was a great way to kind of get them started with the idea of zonally defending, like working within a zone. You're not marking a guy. You're not marking the runner coming in late. You're not calling out a number. You are marking an area. So where we'd go from there is a game that I saw in the book, which is just guard your gate. So I'll put out a couple cones here. And what you have is you have basically a zone that you are, as a defender, going to worry about. So we should have 4 here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm spacing them out right. But there you go. And we're going to set up more because you're going to have attacker start in a gate. And that's going to change and move. Now, if your players have trouble with this concept of shifting defensively, playing within the zone is going to be very difficult because your players aren't going to move correctly and cover the spaces that they need to. So another way to kind of start this off would be you have 4 players lined up here. These would be their gates. And then you have one too many. You have another team here, and they have 1 ball. Still, oh my gosh, one too many. You have 1 ball, and you have them pass back and forth between this line. And when the ball moves here, this defender then steps up, and we work on our shape. Okay, these guys get tight, they drop back a little bit, they become the cover guys, they get compact. This guy provides the balance. Okay, and just getting that concept down. So if that's something within this session that maybe you're struggling with, maybe start off with those basic defensive movements so they understand what needs to happen. You're still covering your zone here, you're still covering your zone here, you're still covering your zone here, but it's where you are in that zone in relation to where the ball is. So the next one you'd have is you'd add a ball to every player. We'll back up here. 1, 2, 3. Get it right this time. Now, the attacking players can go to any gate they want. They can try to attack through this gate, they try to attack through this gate, but only one person can go through each gate. So what we'll see is, this person, dribbles here. This guy goes right here. This guy goes right here. And this guy just tries to go straight across against the guy right in front of him. Okay. So we're working on, there's a lot of things going on. You're scanning the field. You're checking, where the attacks are coming from. You're adjusting your body shape based on where the ball is coming to. But you're staying within your zone. Okay. And then they're in relation to that, there's 4 guys there because it's in relation to the back 4. Now, if you have back 5, you have back 3, you adjust that accordingly. But they're all working in coordination and they're staying within a zone spaced out like you would back 4, but they're adjusting to where the ball is and defending their individual zone. So to get them in the concept of what it's called, defending zonally within a back 4 and covering your space. You're only responsible for your zonal area. So next stage, we'd move those away, move these lines away, and we'll add another team of players here, and we'll take it down to 1 ball. Okay, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. And the line is this cone line. And what these players are trying to do is they can pass back and forth, and they're trying to break that line and play to a player that is on the other side. So what we're doing now is we're working on that first drill I talked about after the corners, where this person steps, this person covers, cover, balance, right? We're still working on that concept. We're working it zonally, okay? So you're guarding your gate. So we're combining basically the 2 drills together. And what happens is this ball moves this way. This guy steps up. He's guarding his gate. He's guarding his gate. He's guarding his gate. He's guarding his gate. And in doing so, to guard their gate more effectively, they're in the appropriate space for pressure and cover. So you have this ball moving back and forth. You rotate it, and they're just constantly guiding it. Now, the point system you would have is every time you break a line, that the team in the middle has to do push-ups or they lose a point or whatever it may be, and it's kind of back and forth, okay? And if players react too slowly, they're not able to get there. What you'll see is this ball just kind of ping back and forth, okay? So it forces them to work within that zone. Now, the final drill we put in place is we would have an attacking team attacking our core unit that we're working with, and we make these zones bigger, and we just play basically a game with zones already set up for the players, so they know where they should be zonally. And again, you adjust this to however you want, whatever system you're playing, wherever the zones look like in your system. So I'm going to be pretty general with them, but you have 4 players going up against 4 players here, and you're having them stay within their zone but playing this game. You can add another zone back here, so if they have to retreat the depth, you have the zone up here, so if the blind steps, okay, they're still playing within the zonal area, but they're moving forward and covering this area. This is our line of, I call it line of attack, where we're going to start attacking the ball defensively. Maybe drop off, maybe have it in the box. But you play generally a 4v4 game or maybe a 6v4 game, and you work them defensively. And then we would then finally end the session with some kind of either half field or full field scrimmage, where you're simulating the game as much as possible and seeing how well the team is able to defend within that zonal system. So again, I think this session, there's a number of ways you can modify. There's different things you can do. You don't have to start with a corner play. There's definitely some kind of other activation drills that you can do to set up the concept of zonal defending. And I'd love to hear what you guys got for that. If you can send those out in the comments and let us know how you do that. Again, ways that you set up the concept of zonal defending as kind of an activation drill. I'd be really excited to hear what you guys have for that. So again, my name is Matt Carroll with World Class Coaching, the help of Academy Sports Coach, and the book Zonal Defending by Stefano Santona, which I'm going to put in the comments so you can check that out. I hope this session finds you well.